What's going on? Happy Monday here, 8:22 on the Chris Berg Show on the We the People Network. With me inside the PetroServe USA studio, Anthony Gehrig. He's a candidate running for the Fargo City Commission seat, running up against Mike Williams. He recently had a piece in the Fargo Forum, and then Mike sort of had a rebuttal to that as well. Anthony, thanks for joining me this morning. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great Easter. How was your Easter, man?
Very good, sir. How about you?
Good. Let's jump right into this piece. You go out and make some claims about Mike Williams' vote. He voted for basically the commission about drafting a resolution requesting a tax extension here. Mike says, no, I didn't do that. What's the facts?
Right. So the point I was making was very simple. Mr. Williams has come out and wrote a few editorials now stating that, he doesn't think raising taxes right now is a smart thing to do. Well, my question to him would be then, if you are truly worried about raising taxes on the people, and if you truly think that this tax is not a smart thing to do right now, then why did you find it necessary to vote on March 5th to draft a resolution requesting to extend the tax? Now, that is not voting for the tax. That is voting to draft a resolution, just like it sounds, to then vote on to make it a tax. So that happened on March 5th. It's on page number 62 of the notes for that meeting, and he disputed that he had done that. So.
Well, the other piece I want to get to, again, Anthony Gehrig with us in studio. Number to call in, 888-598-8464. He's running for Fargo City Commission. He'll be on the ballot coming up June 12th. The other thing that you mentioned was $40 million that's needed, what they say is needed for non-essential projects like the NP and First Avenue. Mike came back and said, whoa. NP and the First Avenue corridor reconstruction is only $4.5 to $5 million, not the $40 million that you said it is. You say?
Right, he said for each one. Disputing the numbers, sure, we can dispute the numbers all day. $10 million, 20, 30, 40, whatever you want to call it. The point of the fact is...
Whoa. What do you mean whatever you want to call it? Because 10, 20, 30 million, that's a big discrepancy.
It is. So we can dispute those numbers all day. But the point I was trying to make is that we can cut non-essential programs. $10 million is going to go a long way to the flood fight. $10 million is a half-cent sales tax for one full year. So if we can cut non-essential programs, so let's cut MP at first. Let's cut bike lanes. Let's cut... Courts Plus editions, those numbers truly do add up to very large numbers. So if you want to dispute my count, I got my information from the Fargo Forum and from other news organizations in Fargo. He said that I got my numbers wrong, and I will certainly look into those. But the point of the fact doesn't change just because the numbers change. If we cut...
Wait. With all due respect, Anthony, what do you mean the point of the fact doesn't change even though the numbers change? I think most people would disagree with you on that one.
Well, what we can do is, if we cut NP and First Avenue, let's call it his $10 million. Let's do that. If we cut
actually, it's 5, but 4.5 to 5, but okay.
For each corridor.
Right.
So, but then we look at bike lanes. There's tens of millions of dollars right there. We're going to have to widen roads. They want to move those to 25th, and they want to move them to University. And they want to move them all over town to major throughways. That's going to be very expensive to widen those roads, maintain those roads, put bike lanes on there. Downtown surveillance is another program that people aren't very happy about. Knowing a little something about surveillance due to my job, there is a very expensive program there. You have cameras that are going to have to stand, negative 60-degree weather and 120-degree weather. Okay, you're going to have people to watch those monitors. You're going to have a command center where those fiber cable optics are going to have to go to. You're going to have people who maintain those cameras and servers. Okay, this is a very expensive program that they're talking about. You can talk about garage studies. We've spent $250,000 on parking garage studies. If we can cut these things, all right, and move towards flood protection, then we do not need to raise this 0.5% sales tax. That's just basically a slush fund. And if I can jump into that tax that they've proposed.
We will in just a moment. I want
Sure.
to get to a phone call for you. Again, Anthony Gehrig with me inside the PetroServe USA studio, running for the Fargo City Commission seat coming up on June 12th. They'll be on the ballot. Number to call into the show, 271-1100. Again, 271-1100. Philip out of Fargo, welcome.
Thanks, Chris. My background is as a civil engineer, and I find it laughable that Mike Williams says it's 4.5, or whoever reported that. You do NP and First Avenue, I'd say minimum 15 million, max could go up to 40. So Anthony's numbers aren't that far off. The point about arguing about numbers is I like the fact that this Anthony is pointing out the point of the fact. It is important. Mike's trying to have it both ways. He's not Dave. I can tell you that, Chris. And the numbers he's throwing about, I would say a minimum contractor would probably estimate it at around 23 to 27 million to work on those both roads. I'm assuming it's a mile strip going across, right?
Anthony, do you know?
Yeah, it goes from downtown all the way down to where it ends being a one-way. So it's moving it to a two-way road. I don't exactly know how many blocks it is.
Wow. Yeah? That'll get pretty pricey. Chris, I just wanted to point it out. That's all.
Phil, appreciate it as always. That's the whole point here. Keep people honest. We obviously heard about the loss of Mike Wallace over the weekend at age 93, and everyone talked about, hey, the guy was a stickler with the follow-up questions, and I can guarantee you that I'm definitely working every single day and improving that, and that's why I said, with all due respect, we just want to be clear here. I got a bunch of emails coming in for you as well. Again, Anthony Gehrig here in studio running for the Fargo City Commission, 271-1100. The email, talk@chrisbergshow.com. Email says, Chris, please ask your guest what his political affiliation is.
This is a nonpartisan position. So, what my personal beliefs are is I am obviously concerned with fiscal issues in Fargo. That's my political position. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm not an independent. I'm concerned with the issues that face Fargo, North Dakota. So if you want to put a label on me, call me a fiscal conservative. But other than that, national politics, they don't mean much to me. So
you don't associate with the Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians?
In my own personal life, I have my own personal beliefs, obviously, but running for Fargo City Commission, this is what I'm focused on.
All right, well, share. So you're fiscal conservative. What are some of your other personal beliefs?
I'm actually... Because I am in
is this like a Sarah Palin newspaper question?
Because I am in the military, I'm actually not even allowed to identify myself as a partisan.
All right, so just share some of your own personal beliefs then.
Well, I guess I have shared that. My focus is on these fiscal issues in Fargo. And I'd love to talk more about the taxes that I talked about in the editorial, if that's okay with you.
That's fine with me, and I just think you're going to get these questions as you go through, so you might as well take the chance to answer them now.
Sure.
Or I think people are going to go, why not just tell me what your beliefs are? Because it's just hard to get votes if people don't know who you are. Again, Anthony Gehrig here in studio, 271-1100. Larry, welcome to the show.
Yeah, to your guest, I will not vote for anyone who will not tell me what their political beliefs are. It tells me you're a liberal that's lying about what you believe so you can get elected to office to spend, and tax. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, and I think he just nailed what I was trying to say. Maybe he even said it better than I did. But I think people are going to go, wait a second, what is he hiding? And what we found out last week with NDSU, in my opinion, the cover-up's worse than the incident. So do you want to be more transparent, or are you going to leave it where you left it?
Sure, and I just have to walk a fine line, as I said. I have to walk away from those partisan lines, but in my personal life, I am a Catholic, so I am pro-life, these type of things. But social issues, I try to stay away from because it's not going to help with being a city Fargo commissioner. My main focus here is to get to right this ship fiscally for Fargo, and that's what I've been focusing on. And when people ask me what my partisan views are when I'm walking door to door, I always walk away and say, this is what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the most money we're spending in Fargo. I'm concerned with how the people's money is being thrown away. And if that's what you're concerned with too, vote for me. If you want to know how I vote for president, then I guess that's not how you're going to vote for me. So,
Anthony Gehrig running for Fargo City Commission. Last question for you: Measure 2. Are you a yes or a no?
That's one of those state issues that I have no control over. So I have a personal.
Whoa! Everyone's talking about local control, though. That if Measure 2 passes, then you end up losing that local control as a Fargo City Commissioner. So you're not going to give us an opinion on that?
I certainly have an opinion on Fargo's property taxes. I believe our property taxes are far too high. 2.5%. That I pay on my humble little home in South Fargo. I pay three mortgage payments extra a year because of our high property taxes. I want to cap property tax at 1.5%. I want to cap our sales tax at 7%. I think we pay far too many taxes, and Fargo is getting away with spending way too much money. And it's because of taxes like the ones that's proposed. They're far
so from what you just shared, can I then presume that you're a no on Measure 2 and you want to cap property taxes at 1.5%?
I am for lowering property taxes in Fargo, North Dakota. Now, that what you're talking about is a statewide measure that will change the Constitution of North Dakota. So you're talking for Minot and for Williston. I'm not running for commission in Fargo or excuse me, in Williston or in Minot. I'm running for Fargo City Commission. So on those issues, that's something I'm not going to delve into because it's not anything I have any control over in Williston or those kind of things as a Fargo commissioner. So as your Fargo commissioner, I want to lower your property taxes. I think they are far too high. But on Measure 2, that's something that I'm one vote as a citizen, and just like you are. So
if you're going to be putting yourself in a position of leadership here for the biggest city in the state of North Dakota, I think people want to know, and you don't have to say yes or no to Measure 2, but then what's your alternative plan if it's no to, obviously we would presume it's no to Measure 2, so.
If they get rid of the property taxes,
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I can't speak for other cities. You know, I can speak for how we do it in Fargo. For Fargo, the property tax is not as large as people think it is, as far as the size of the budget. It's less than 10% of the budget. So if we lose our property taxes, it just means that if we can make changes in other places. If that means that we don't get bike lanes this year, then I guess that's what it means. But property taxes is not a huge part of our budget. And if we lower those property taxes, it's not gonna tank our city. It's not gonna stop kids from going to school every day.
8:32 here on the Chris Berg Show on the We the People Network. Again, Anthony Gehrig running for the Fargo City Commission. We'll have you back in as we get closer to June 12th. Want to remind you, coming up at 11 o'clock today, right here on AM 1100 The Flag, Mike Huckabee kicks off his new show with us and all across the nation. Looking forward to see what he has to say. When we come back, we're going to get to your phone calls. Again, 271-1100, 271-1100. If you want to follow up with our conversation here with Anthony, you want to talk about Heidi's letter to the editor, and the image problem that the ND GOP people are saying it has. You got to know the facts about how this all went down before you can make those claims. And was there somebody that was an insider that maybe sort of stoked the fire for personal reasons? We'll get to that and much more when we come back right here on the Chris Berg Show on the We the People Network, live from the PetroServe USA studio.